Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline at Sips Sports Bar. We're here with a packed house. I think they all came to see us. Nah, they got Penguins on and everything else, but they're here for Smokin' Jim, I know that. But thanks for watching the show. It's come to West Liberty Avenue, 3024. 15216. That's West Liberty Avenue. You can find the show here. Matter of fact, we have a guy coming up first. They come all the way from Butler, and that's the notorious, famous Dave Crack from the Butler Wobble. You guys will find out about his name and everything else. And I want to thank everybody for watching the show. We have Aaron Ward and Devin Shea. They're putting all this together. And please don't get any close-ups. I was out in the sun a lot yesterday, and we have bad lighting here. So. Chip, what's on your mind?
Funny you should mention that, Alan. I got a little something here because I know everybody's having a little difficulty drinking the Kool-Aid that I made, so you guys can all make your own pirate Kool-Aid.
All right.
I got one of these for Zach.
I see more water. I need some more water. They gave me pirate Kool-Aid. Whoa, wait a second.
Enjoy it. It's good.
The Pirates will win. Oh my goodness.
And Alan's gonna pee purple for a week.
20 years of losing. I got a sour taste about that.
But hey.
Thanks, Chipper.
What's on my mind is the Pirates just finished an amazing homestand. They were supposed to be a 10-game homestand. There was one rain out, but the Pirates ended up 7-2, and they got themselves over 500, 7-2. And the funny thing was, they didn't beat the Houston Astros. They beat three of the best teams in the National League. They're playing very solid baseball, getting a lot of contributions from everybody on the team. There seems to be a different hero every night. The pitching's been great.
They are great.
And the thing that impressed me the most about what's going on with the Pirates is the free agent acquisition that the Pirates made at catcher, Russell Martin. Russell Martin has already, in the first month of the season, thrown out as many batters as Rod Barajas. Let me correct that. He's thrown out as many guys attempting to steal as Rod Barajas did for the whole season last year.
Wow.
Yesterday, as a matter of fact, the Pirates won the game because the no-hitting shortstop, Clint Barmas, drove in 2 runs, and Russell Martin twice threw out runners that were attempting to steal second after the batter struck out.
Can I have some more Kool-Aid, please?
So, what's on my mind is the Buccos. They got a 4-game stand that's starting in Philadelphia tonight. They're playing. The Phillies are putting in a AAA pitcher, pitching his first game in the majors, whose ERA is almost 10. So it looks like the Pirates might have some batting practice over on the other side of the state. That's what's on my mind, Alan.
Wow, Chip. Great. Hey, and that Kool-Aid's fantastic. Nothing like Bucko Pirate Kool-Aid. No, I'm sweet enough. Thank you.
Oh, God.
Well, thank you, Chip. I appreciate it. No. If I'm going to start drinking the Kool-Aid, I don't want it sweetened up anymore.
I'll make it sweet enough.
And now I got to ask Smokin' Jim Frazier, what's on your mind?
Thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green, you got to see Levine.
Here, have a pen.
Hey, I'm real honored this evening. We have a professional boxer here. Not only is he a professional boxer, he's one of the best in the world. He holds a professional boxing title. Please give a big hand to Lightning Rod Salka, 135 pounds.
Hey, Rod, we're going to call you up at the end of the fight here. You'll be the last guest, and ask little Z what that means.
His time's getting cut short.
And if he gets another thumbnail photo with those videos, he's off the show.
But most people know by now that I'm an NFL scout. I've been with the Pittsburgh Steelers on draft day for 11 years. I'll be with the Steelers on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. So if anybody out here has a player that they would like for the Pittsburgh Steelers to draft, please let me know, and I'll tell the Steelers that this player was sponsored by Sips Sports Bar in Dormont.
Hold it, who's the guy that had that invisible girlfriend besides you? Maybe we could get him because your girlfriend Brazil just come in.
Hey, if the Steelers want to win a championship, they got to get ready to rumble. They got to get the best player, and if you got to get ready to rumble, you better go to the jungle because the best player in this draft is sitting in Africa right now chilling with Tarzan. He's BYU's 6'6", 275 pounds, Ezekiel Onsall. And I tell you what, I never knew that Mormons was in Africa. Listen, this guy did not go to BYU on a football scholarship. He didn't go to BYU on a basketball or track scholarship. He went to BYU on an academic scholarship. Hey, the second language in Utah is Swahili. Listen, this guy is fast. He runs the 110.9. He runs the 221.8. He runs the 40 in 4.5. I've never in my life seen a guy 275 pounds that can cover kickoffs and sack quarterbacks the way he do. I guess all those years chasing down tigers and lions in Africa is about to pay off for him. Hey, listen, Pittsburgh Steelers, if you want another championship, you better go get the king of the jungle to bring a Super Bowl crown back to the city of champions.
Thanks, Smoking Jim. I know I can't speak loud enough to get over this crowd, but you just did that. There's people waving across the street at you.
He woke up the guy that was sleeping in his chair.
And I thought a guy passed out back there, but he's awake.
There's life in the...
Hey, what's on my mind is we have great weather, we have great sports. Matter of fact, we got pucks and bucks tonight, so you can't beat that. If anybody watches this in a couple days, Penguins are winning 1-0. I don't know about the Buccos. We're working on getting them here. This is a great venue to watch sports. We got 8 TV flat screens here. Heck of a crowd here. We even have the Kamikaze Kid come in to see us.
Kamikaze Kid!
He's in the house there. And matter of fact, I have late-breaking news. The Kamikaze Kid watched our show on his phone, not like my phone. He has a smartphone. He watched YouTube. He couldn't believe what a great show it was. I said it's because of him eating steak, which was better than the Capitol Grill. Come to Sip Sports Bar. I heard there's steak tonight. What else is on my mind is I want to thank Smoking Jim Frazier for letting me and inviting me to help announce Golden Glove Boxing, their Hall of Fame dinner. And then we had 3 inductees. I got so much literature here, I don't know what else to do. And then, instead of like last week when we had me doing 18 fights, there were only 15 fights. And I'm still ready to keep talking there, Smoking Jim. And here's some of the fights. We're even supposed to get another boxer who's a champion. Jarrell T. Brackett, supposed to come in, the Brick.
He's on CP time. He'll be here today.
No, he already contacted me earlier today, and he will be here, but he is a little late. I don't understand
CP
the
time.
CP, but we'll go there. But it was a great venue. Another friend of our show, Andy Sebastian, great MC, didn't miss a thing. Fantastic insights. Mike Bayens was a great inductee in the Hall of Fame. Guy who was on our show also, we'll have him again. Route 51 Jim with Ted had a bunch of winners there. Even young Teddy was a big winner. So it was just a great time, great place at the Royal Place. And then we're going to also be at a fight, Smoking Jim. Where's that, at Cal U?
Cal U, where I got my general studies degree.
Which general? Was that MacArthur?
You'll see us there, folks. That'll be May 3rd. We'll be out at Cal U. And then I heard a rumor that Little Z is going to be a ring announcer.
Wow.
He may have to wear a suit, folks. And Omar the tent maker is working on it right now. Luckily, little Z didn't hear that. He's too busy talking.
Hey,
He'll be wearing a suit. You got to watch the video to hear what I said.
wait till tomorrow, Alan, when he sees the replay.
And we're going to start with our guests. The next segment, we'll have our guests here. And our first guest is going to be Dave Crack, the unicycle guy. Hold it. Somebody better hold this beside me because we actually have the Butler Wobble King. No, we'll let...
Not king.
In my book.
Okay, in your book. Let me know when you're ready.
Dave, okay, we're coming back right now with Dave Crack. Oh my goodness.
Jim's fries.
Thank you,
Tracy's
Tracy.
the best. Look at these fries.
Look at that.
Now you folks have seen this for 12 weeks now.
Send that over.
You're getting to see the original. Not that we do any shameless promotion. They're a local company.
Yeah.
Here you go, Dave.
Want me to hold this?
Yes.
Okay.
What
I
is
can hold
it?
this.
You want to explain that to us?
Absolutely. Well, this summer, not only are we having 2 unicycles here, we are expecting about 300 people here in Butler County, the Pittsburgh area.
How many people?
About 300, hopefully.
Great.
We have about 200 signed up right now, and we're anticipating 300 riders, including, as it says on here, world champions. We do have 2 confirmed already. We have Scott Wilton, who is a world champion at distance, and Max Schultz is at trials. So we will be up July 21st to July 27th, 2013, up in the Zelienople Harmony Moraine State Park area, having unicycles everywhere, and you can come watch it for free. Now, the one thing we don't have that I've seen out there that's YouTube is we do not have unicycle football, but we do have basketball and hockey.
Really?
Those are on the schedule. Yes, basketball and hockey. So, actually, it's usually pretty safe. So it's pretty exciting. If you want to come watch the traditional sports, we do have the basketball, hockey. Other
Do you
things
need any announcers?
Sure, if you want to come up, we'll take you out. We'll put you to work. We have track day too, so traditional track events.
Well, I don't.
100, 400, 800.
We
On
might
the
have,
unicycle.
On unicycles.
I would love to see something like that.
Hey, July 21st to 27th, free. Hey, I bet Al keeps this around, so you can
He
take a
does.
look at it anytime.
Oh, definitely. Here, study it. He sort of turns me off after a while. You know how I can't hear out of my left ear anymore? Well, he does that naturally with me. So,
Nice.
well, thanks for doing the promotion here. What got
Thank
you
you.
started with the unicycles?
I guess I didn't start riding until I was in my early 30s, and
And you're 35 now.
yeah, that'd be nice. Yeah, that'd be nice. I've hit the next landmark on that.
Okay.
So yeah, we're 40 now, but I learned in my early 30s because I had pretty much been known around town as the bike guy. I like to ride bikes, and I decided to start riding unicycles, and then I fell into the fact of why didn't I do this before? I started mainly doing it because we have really cold winters in this region, and it's not too much fun to be riding a bike outside in the winter, but a unicycle's much more of a workout, much warmer. So started doing it. Immediately after I started, I was like, let's go in the woods. So I ride mountain bike trails through the woods, and in 2008 we did a stage race across Nova Scotia. We covered, international teams. We covered 500 miles in 5 days on
Did you
relay
say
teams.
5 days?
5 days on unicycles, 500 miles in Nova Scotia. Winning time was about 37 hours and change. So our team finished in under 40 hours, and that's, I saw distance unicycling and went, wow, this is great. Then I went to a national convention and went, wow, this is great. And then we came home and said, hey, we need to have a club. So we have a club in Butler, Pennsylvania where we'll teach anybody to learn to ride for free. We never charge anything, and we've had probably about 90 people over the past 4 years learn to ride.
And how many have survived? How many have survived?
We have had 2 accidents that were reportable accidents, both ankles. I mean, it's pretty much whenever things start to go wrong, you just step off in the learning process.
Okay.
Now, when you start doing crazy things, jumping downstairs and that,
Okay.
it's your own fault. Pad up and tuck and roll.
Right, put a helmet on.
Yeah, wear a helmet for sure. Yeah, helmets, knee pads, gloves, those are always the things I wear.
And then you were starting to talk about one of our fans of the show, was on the first Sip Sports Bar show, Dr. Trina Hess.
Dr. Trina Hess.
And now, I never knew she was a unicyclist, and she was so funny that I thought she made this up. And I said, I'll promote it until it happens. So I'm glad you could make it here to tell us about it.
I'm
What's
really
her
glad you could
story, and how did you find her? Or how did she find you?
She found us through a gentleman, his name is Rick Carr, and Rick picked up unicycling at 57 because he decided he wanted core strength and balance. And he said, you know, I'm 57 years old, I'm getting older, I need core strength, I need balance, I don't want to go to a gym, let's learn to ride a unicycle. So he started to learn to ride, and one day he was up riding the rail trail up in Emlenton on a 36-inch wheel. And when he showed up, he rode by, and Trina kind of saw that, took notes, said, what's going on? Rick hands a business card, says, hey, we're the Butler Wobble, it's free, we teach people to learn to ride, you can learn to ride. It's like, okay, I'll look into that. And then she showed up.
Wow.
And we can't get rid of her since. No, wait, I'm just
I
kidding.
believe that. Well,
That's a joke.
She appreciates that humor, and I don't believe it's a joke.
What
I know her.
What kind of rims you got on these 36s?
That's it. Well, that one's a 36.
Jim wants something splashed with chrome. He
Yeah.
wants his unicycle to have this bling.
In his neighborhood, they're usually a little shinier, is what he's telling you.
Well, you know, we got a little bit on there. That frame actually, that particular one came from a gentleman in California, handmade.
That's handmade from California.
So it's gray, but it's blingy in its own
Yeah,
way.
yeah. And that's just not far from Cal U.
So good times with that.
Oh, definitely. What's this 36-mile trek you took the other day?
Oh, I was just out for a ride. Like
I happened to see you on Facebook, not that I ever mentioned. Try to friend us and like us on Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. Thank
Absolutely.
you. You knew how to hit the like button, so
Hit
I
the
like
like
you
button.
there. And he's not on the internet much, but he does put out some promos with the Butler Wobble and what you're doing.
Yes.
So I was impressed. 36 miles are just a little...
Yeah, I mean, the rides I typically do if I'm on with this one here, this is my typical mountain bike racing uni. So
Look at the tread on that.
Yeah, I do around the Pittsburgh area. I do a dozen races or so a year that are mountain bike races on my unicycle with the bikers.
A dozen.
Yeah, about a dozen, and I never finish last. So
Wow.
very,
Did you
very
ever
rare.
win?
Not overall. No,
Okay.
it's very difficult to do, but yeah, these don't coast. You're pedaling all the time.
Wow.
It's much, much harder. I came from a bike racing background and then just went unicycles because it's more fun. It's more challenging.
No, I don't understand the concept with the uni here, or whatever you call the unicycle, unis, or what do you...
Yeah, we call it...
I saw some of your lingo.
Yeah, they're unis. Mountain unicycling, like mountain biking, is called muni with an M in
Muni.
front of it. So it's mountain unicycling all scrunched together as one word. And that's the off-road stuff. There's also, like, I don't know if you've ever seen motorcycle trials.
Yeah.
There are trials, competitions. There are street competitions, which are like skateboarding on the street, flat land, where guys jump up, spin the unicycle a bunch of times.
So
do
will we see these on the X Games ever?
I honestly don't think the X Games is going to pick it up. We have some guys who are pushing for it, and the level of rider is there. The current high jump world record, I believe, it's over 130 centimeters high. That's over a bar. I believe it's at 130. It's either 131 or
Now,
133.
for us that use the regular standard measurements, 130 centimeters. How many feet is that?
That's 4 foot 3 inches.
Wow.
Plus. That's
Now I can
over
put that
a
into
bar.
perspective.
Wow.
That is right.
I can put that in
Absolutely.
perspective. Centimeters, that's the kind
No,
of a little bit on the European side for me.
Well, we have one friend with us who his big, and I'll have to dig up the links for that. But one of his big tricks a couple years ago was he would ride up, jump over his friend off his unicycle, land on another unicycle a friend was holding on front, and ride away.
Wow.
His name's Kelly Hickman, and we
I
hope
hope
to
he was
see him
wearing
this
a
summer.
cup.
And he's still alive.
He's still alive.
Okay. Hey, does anybody do, what's the basketball player that goes over the car?
Dr. J?
No.
No, wasn't that Blake Griffin? Wasn't that Blake
Jeez.
Griffin?
He scouts everything, and the one softball I give him, and the whole time we've been talking, he doesn't even come up with that. The fries are too
I was
good.
gonna say, he's got
It's
fries.
Sip Sports Bar, okay? Does anybody ever jump a car with a unicycle?
They do jump onto cars.
Onto cars?
Yes, on some of the trials
Moving
courses.
cars?
Hopefully not.
Okay.
Usually that's a bad idea because most motorists aren't too happy about a unicycle and landing. I'm not sure how that would be an insurance claim. Yes, I was hit by a unicycle falling from the sky. I don't know how that works out.
Good point. Now, is there any money to be made in this sport?
Unfortunately, not really much money.
Do you get sponsorships? For different races like you're doing with this?
For our event, we are indeed seeking sponsorships for the event because we're keeping the spectating free. So
That's
goal,
why I'm asking. If you want to promote, I'm
Absolutely.
here to help promote you.
If you want the green, talk to Levine.
Al, the machine. The green
Go
machine.
for the green. We need
machine.
sponsors.
I like that, the green machine. That's
Yes,
good.
he is.
We need sponsors for this event here.
Yes. And with that comes, of course, with everything with sponsorship, we have
Sign
places
up.
on T-shirts. Sponsorship starts as little as $25 and goes up from there. We would like to see some big sponsors, of course.
Lay it out there. If you don't think big, you're not allowed back on the show.
Yeah, the big
All right?
sponsors, we'd like to see some. Once we get the $1,000 range, you get some pretty nice stuff. Get some pretty good swag with the whole thing.
What kind of stuff is this? Is this a mystery or what?
It's actually the brochure is in my backpack, which is over there.
Okay.
But I have the levels for you. I'll leave those with you, so
All right.
people can contact through. We have an email address. It's butlerwobble@gmail.com. And with this, the site you can see if you go to uninationals2013.com, you can find all the details there on how to get a hold of us. There's a contact form, and we'd be glad to get back to you.
And this is Dave Crack. We're going to be
Dave
closing
Crack.
it down.
Okay, I got to tell you.
We
one
got to
thing,
get
though,
to his
because
name now because every time I get a few Snickers here.
I know these guys.
And it's not the candy bar.
Yeah, that's okay. Well,
Crack and Wobble, I
hey,
don't know which follows
yeah, well, actually, we found out whenever we did the Nova Scotia race, we found out a collection of unicyclists is called a wobble, much like a flock of geese.
which. Okay.
Okay.
Herd
Didn't
of
know
cattle.
that.
I didn't know that either. And we got there, and they're like, "Oh, this is a great wobble." We're like, "What's a wobble?" And they're like, "It's a collection of unicycles."
I haven't been drinking. What do you mean? Is it
Right.
That was one of my questions here because we're all about trivia. You got to watch our
There you
Tuesday
go.
night show.
Oh,
We have
yeah.
a guy that does Chip's Trivia Time.
A collection of
So-
unicyclists is a wobble, and my last name, I did indeed think I had the worst last name in the world. I got to college, went to my freshman calculus class. I sat in one seat. Next to me sat another young lady, and next to her sat another young lady. The other young lady, 2 seats down, her last name was Cocaine.
Really?
So, absolutely. Mine's K-R-A-C-K. Hers was C-O-K-A-I-N-E. True story. So somebody had to sit through an entire math class between crack and cocaine.
But you know what? It's a good thing the Jim's already got the nickname Smoking.
yeah, that's it, Jim.
Hey, Dave, I want to
Yes.
thank you for coming
Al,
all
thank
the way
you so
from
much.
Butler.
Jim.
It's been a pleasure.
good.
These guys have been talking about it. We're just glad to see it.
I'm really glad to be here, and I'll keep talking it up with you guys and want to get this cross-linked.
Dave, I tell you what,
Anything you
it's
can
a
do, we
pleasure
can
to meet
help
you. My
promote.
wife is very interested in this unicycling thing. We may find our way up there to your
I'll
event.
leave you guys. You have some contact information. I'll leave you with some more.
She's very
research.
interested, and I feel
She
like
wants to do.
I need to get her some
Stephanie wants to
headgear.
do a
Well,
test drive of one of these unicycles.
We actually have 2 appearances in the Pittsburgh area. Actually, we have 4 scheduled coming up.
Let us know.
Leave us some
we will
information. I'd
we
be
will
interested
be
in.
at the Carnegie Science Center for an over 21 night, June 21st, for the opening of their bicycle
Stephanie,
show.
you just made it.
And you're over.
She just made it.
So that'll be a nice night. No kids. We're going to be there as they open the bicycle exhibits, and we're also going to be there July 6th. And we're also going to be at the roller derby. If you ever watch Steel City roller derby, that's good stuff to watch. If you guys haven't heard of that sports, you guys need to see that. That's
We know
black and
roller
gold.
derby.
As a
I
matter of
actually-
fact, my wife and I know somebody that did roller derby, and
Yeah.
she's not somebody to be trifled with.
You guys need to go check that out over at Rock and Roll.
Well, in one of the events that I was in with the Hugathon Pittsburgh, where the Pittsburgh Passion was hosting the
Nice.
championship. So guess who was there? The roller derby girls, and I thought they all got along. Well, there were a couple different teams. We'll leave it at that.
Okay.
So, but Dave, thanks again.
Thank you
It was a
very much,
pleasure
Al.
having you. Thanks
you,
for the
Jim.
great
Dave,
info.
it's a pleasure
Thanks for
meeting you.
bringing these unicycles.
Hey, thank you.
The Muni and the Uni.
Yes. So we'll
Awesome.
catch you next time.
All right, you take care. Have a safe
right.
trip. Enjoy the food and the company here.
Absolutely.
All right, we got one of our regular guests, Big Mike D from Pittsburgh Sports Nation. If you can't find Pittsburgh Sports Nation, they're everywhere. Facebook, blogging, tweeting,
YouTubing.
texting. He's a YouTuber, all that good stuff. And then his dad signed me up with Old School Midland.
Old School Midland.
How about I'm on Old School Midland? He's showing me all these great photos, great athletes. So thanks goes to the original Mike.
It is one of the great small towns of America. Midland, Pennsylvania.
Wasn't that where Carolina Lake he's from?
Carnell Lake's family's from there, and like I said, family.
Secondary coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yep.
Former All-Pro.
Yes, indeed.
So we'll get down to sports. You were watching the Penguins, and you said in about 6 seconds we're going to have a problem. Did they beat up Cook yet, or what?
Chris Neal keeps going after Cook.
Okay.
Cook keeps giving him the get away from my, get out of my face, and so they're kind of driving him nuts tonight. The Penguins are up 2-0.
Good.
Let's see here. Let's keep track here. Sidney Crosby, Geno Malkin, James Neal, Chris Letang, Paul Martin, Bo Bennett, Marc-Andre Fleury. You know what they're doing?
No.
The same thing we're doing.
Nice.
Now,
Watch it.
Marc-Andre Fleury.
And it's still 2-0. That's how frightening that team
Marc-Andre
is.
Fleury, by the way, is his wife's giving birth
Yes,
tonight.
congrats to
She's
him.
in labor. His first child's being born, so they gave him the night.
Congrats to the Flower. That's how
Nice.
classy the Penguins organization is. They take care
Well,
of their own.
plus they locked up first place.
Well, yeah.
It's already locked up.
I know, but I mean, if they didn't, who knows? Bakun may not have just been in there all the
They
time.
took it out on Boston. That's what they did for keeping him overnight.
What a great team.
Right.
What a team. I mean, it's 2-0 right now.
Well, I'm staying with my prediction that I said at the beginning of the season. These guys heard it. Check the videos. Stanley Cup this year. There's no doubt in my mind. It's all Stanley Cup, okay?
There's one team out there that will give this team a battle.
I don't care.
Suit up. Let's go. Center ice. We'll see you.
I want to play the tough teams. That proves you're the best. I'm
It
not
is.
afraid of any competition. Neither should the Penguins.
Well, you got to tip your hat to Ray Shero because he proved that the organization is all in to win now.
Oh, yeah.
And they've made the moves. I mean, what he pulled off before the trading deadline, I mean, they served time in jail for that.
Oh, yeah.
That was criminal.
And then he didn't have to pay a premium. He signed up people early, and he signed up some a little bit late, and they all worked
Not
out,
to mention,
right?
it's an interesting way of looking at this. Sidney Crosby's injury may have added to this team because if he didn't get hurt, Shero does not go out and get UC Jokinen possibly.
Right.
This guy has 3-4 goals already.
Right.
He's going to be probably a fourth liner when everyone comes back. And you have a fourth liner who has the capability of scoring 30 goals.
Right.
Who did it a couple years ago.
The
team
way
is
they're
just-
the way
it
they're
is
playing, the
phenomenal.
Penguins' fourth line could be a first line on most other teams. Look at the bottom 14 teams in the league.
Next
They'd
week-
love to have our fourth line.
Next week's going to be exhilarating.
Oh, yeah.
When that puck drops at console on May 1st, it's just going back to that intra-squad scrimmage they had at console, where they were expecting, maybe 12, 13,000 people, and the place was overflowing.
Yeah.
I got down there 2.5 hours
you were there.
before they dropped the puck. There was people lined up around the entire building on all sides. It was unreal, and you got a chill. You had hair standing on the back of your neck that night. When they come out and everyone's chanting, "Let's go Pens."
Sure.
You just had a feeling at that moment, at that very time, that this is going to be something special. And they have not only lived up to it, they've exceeded it. Just anything you could think of. I mean, whatever you bring to this team, they bring it back. You want to fight, they'll fight. You want to skate, they'll skate. Any way you want to play this team, they'll beat you at it.
Right.
So it is going to be a fun 2 months.
Well, like Chip said, you got to take your hat off to Shero.
With just
Now, in the past couple years, you've heard about you need grittier players. Well, I think they have them. They answered those questions.
And another
They have them.
note, tonight could be a milestone game for the Pittsburgh Penguins. If the Pittsburgh Penguins win tonight, Dan Bylsma will have earned his 200th win as a head coach, which will be the quickest to 200 wins of any coach in NHL history.
Right.
He will have done his first 200 wins in 315 games. The guy who has the record right now is, if I could say his name without stumbling, Bruce Boudreau, former coach of the Capitals, and he did it in 326 games.
Wow. Right. And this is one of the reasons with the Penguins, they don't have coaches that last this long. So to get 200 wins just with the Penguins.
Hockey is always like that. Hockey is
it's less than 4 years.
What have you done for me?
Right.
In the last
And
5
the
minutes.
players,
Yeah, it's not what have you done for me
have a lot
lately.
of
What have you
control.
done for me in the last 5 minutes?
This new ownership group, I'm saying, as opposed to normal ownership groups which change, and
Right.
you know, these guys recognize that consistency and continuity.
Continuity.
Yeah,
I'll help you out there.
Continuity.
I heard you were a fighter.
Yeah.
Your dad dropped the
But
dime
you know
and said
what
you
else
may have
is
gotten hit a
interesting
couple
that
times.
the Penguins have
Couple
done
times.
is the exact same system they play up here in the majors. The Wilkes-Barre Baby Penguins play the exact same system. So
Yeah,
when
you
somebody
walk in,
goes
it's
down
nice.
on the big club, they just plug the piece in. They don't have to relearn the system. They fit right in. They know their roles.
Right.
So that, you know, they from the top of the organization down to the bottom, you know, they're all on the
That's
same
just
page.
the way. You have a great guy in Lemieux,
Right.
who's everything to the city.
Right. He is a true legend.
And he understands the game.
Right.
Obviously, from the organization from the top to the
You use
bottom.
one of my favorite phrases. Obviously, whenever you hear an interview in hockey,
No,
it drives
whenever
me
you hear an
crazy.
interview from a Canadian, they say, "Oh, that's."
I don't know. Some of the
That's
Americans.
the first word they learn when they're
Some of the
born.
Americans use that obviously too. Obviously
say-
big.
they don't say
A's not
that.
as much. No, but that's good hockey talk. Hey, I want to switch up with Pirates there. What are you thinking about the Pirates now?
Oh, we did start off.
You want any of this good Kool-Aid?
Hey, Big Mike, I got you some too.
Little
Pirates
Z.
Kool-Aid.
Little Z. The
I got
Pirates
some for you too, Zach. Yeah, you got it, baby. You can make your own.
started off 1-6. They're now 10-8. Do the math now. What is that? 1-6, 10-8.
8-2.
Pretty good streak.
Oh, what is that there? Is that
Yeah,
is that 9-2?
I want to tell you something.
That's not like a little occurrence. That's a
You know, here's the thing that's
Major.
interesting.
Why do you think I'm
about
drinking
the
Bucko
Pirates.
Kool-Aid?
And, you know, the Pirates went into this season, and I said this on numerous shows, especially during spring training. There was 2 spots on the starting rotation that were locked up: Wandy Rodriguez and AJ Burnett. Now, those 2 guys are bulldogs. I mean, did you see the way Wandy Rodriguez pitched last? You know, I mean, this guy is just such
Stellar.
a fierce competitor. I mean, and he just brought it on Friday night, and it was unbelievable. You know, now Jeff Locke is having his difficulties, and Jonathan Sanchez is having his difficulties, and J-Mac, you know, they're giving him a chance to try to figure it out. I mean, he's hot and cold one game, but he has, of all the pitchers on the staff, some of the nastiest stuff when he is on. But you look now, okay, there's 2 parts of the starting rotation that are big question marks. You look at what's in the wings. You've got Jeff Karstens getting healthy. You've got Francisco Liriano getting healthy. You got Charlie Morton getting healthy. Now, that leads me to the last person that everybody was complaining about. Why didn't he start the season in the majors? Jarrett Cole. Well, Jarrett Cole, in his starts in the AAA for Indianapolis, he's struck out 16 batters. Not bad. He's walked 14 batters too. So you know what? Maybe the management kind of knew that he wasn't ready for prime time yet. Let him go into the minors and learn how to play. Because if you're striking out a lot of batters and you're walking a lot of batters, you know, it's not so much of a good thing. Even though he pitched solidly believe 3 or 4 batters last night.
Yeah.
But he only gave up 1 run, you know, so he's
a big
pitching
key.
solidly.
If your third guy is the J-Mac of the first half last year,
Yep.
you have those 3 guys going for you now.
You look at the J-Mac that
You're
pitched
gonna win
Saturday
a lot
night.
of games.
I mean, Saturday night, he struck out 6 batters in the first 2 innings. You know, now he did have some control problems, but he faced some adversity, and instead of being overcome by it like he did last Monday night when he got shelled, he toughened up and he pitched the next 4 innings very well.
Skip told him, you know what you need to do. He said they had a meeting before the game. He said, you know what you're capable of doing. It's time to go out there and do it.
But you know, right now the team is, and I think right now I was talking to you about this before the show. Was Russell Martin was such a great acquisition.
Yes.
He's already thrown out more runners than Barajas threw out all year. And he brings a lot of intangibles that you don't see in the scorecard.
Right.
He's a great addition to the pitching staff. I mean, he's working with everybody, and he's definitely worth every dime they're paying him.
And I would say, veteran-wise, because you have him, you have AJ. When they started off 1-6,
Nobody
they were all
panicked.
smiles. It's cool. It's a long season.
Nobody panicked. The only people that panicked are the people that call the fan.
Hey, I got more Kool-Aid to drink for them.
It was just the way they started off with the Cubs game when they had like bases loaded and they couldn't tie it up in that game and everyone's batting under 100. It was like a red flag at first, and we were talking about how it's a long season, but it was like a little bit. Oh man, are they thinking about last year?
I think part of that problem may have been they were all just trying too hard because they wanted to go out the gates good. They wanted to win that first homestand, And
what's in the air in Arizona? Is there some kind of good food there or something? Because this is the second year in a row where they were doing poorly to start the season. And the second year in a row.
Here, I'll give you a little history.
The
history when you go out to Arizona, it's a healthy climate.
Well,
People that have, I'm teasing, right?
No.
Yeah.
It's dry, and then you don't have all the losing seasons that you're
Diamondback
breathing.
Park. Diamondbacks
suppose.
the home field.
That's how I look at it.
It's
with
known as a
positive
hitter's
spin.
park.
You can write about it on Pittsburgh Sports Nation.
Diamondbacks Park is a hitter's park. I mean,
yeah.
it's not a pitching friendly ballpark, and it seems like they started swinging the bats then, but there was no panic. Everybody's just going in and doing their job. Jay Bell didn't overreact and try to micromanage everybody's swings and everything. And you know what? They left Pedro Alvarez alone. And I saw something happen Saturday night I don't think I've ever seen happen before. After crushing 2 tape measure jobs on Thursday and Friday night, the Braves intentionally walked Pedro Alvarez when he got put in as a pinch hitter. And there was a guy on third, and they walked Alvarez. And I looked at my friend next to me, and I said, I don't think I've ever seen this happen before. And Pedro Alvarez is, he's an all or nothing kind of a guy.
And he has a line drive home run tonight too. So
So I mean, he's starting
Thanks
to
for the
find
update.
his groove, and there's nothing but upside for this team the rest of the year.
I'm hopeful, and hey, I'm glad you could be on this show here.
I have a little tidbit for you guys.
Okay.
You realize when the Penguins beat Boston the other night that they went above 500 for their franchise victory. It's the first time that all 3 franchises have been above 500 at the same time.
Really?
So Steelers, the Pirates.
Chip,
the
here's some huge
all above
trivia
500.
from Big Mike D. Pittsburgh Sports Nation. This gives you the insights you can't find anywhere
I
else.
find things. And coming up
All
this
right,
week,
go ahead.
Coming up, maybe Thursday, I will have a video out on YouTube that will bring you into the playoffs. And I guarantee you, when you watch it, you'll want to go out on the ice and probably knock a few teeth out of somebody. So
Well, I'm going to scrape it off for Pittsburgh Sportsline, so I'll take it and I'll promote it.
Yes.
But go to Pittsburgh Sports Nation. You'll hear Big Mike D's insights. We'll talk about his boxing career next week when he comes back.
Yes, the Serbian sensation, baby.
All right, Serbian sensation. Get out of here.
All right, kick your Kool-Aid back. Save that
I
for
need
Zach.
another dose of it. It's so sweet now. This is the sweetest fucko Kool-Aid. All right, thanks, Big Mike.
Welcome back, Zach.
It's been a rough day here. He's been working in the plumbing and in the mines. Check out Brenner Contracting.
Like us on Facebook
Definitely.
and Pittsburgh Sportsline.
And anybody else associated with this. Rod Sulka, you got to like him wherever he is. He's coming up next.
Zach, you ready for your Kool-Aid?
Not yet, not yet.
It's so sweet right now.
Let's not jump the gun. How many games are still left in the season?
A few.
140. So there's a lot more that can go wrong. There's a lot more futility that can go wrong.
I share your optimism.
I have more confidence in Al Levine's hairline than I have in the Pittsburgh Pirates
Whoa,
right
wait
now.
Oh, wait a second.
Thank you to Zazu for
Hey, weren't
that.
you just down there working?
Yeah, I was down there for the last 4 days.
He was
in a
asking
quiet
for the
place.
girl that cuts my hair, Mary Ann.
They wouldn't let me anywhere near that place.
Can you blame him? Look at that guy.
Not till they wanted me to cut this beard, and I refused. I'm superstitious.
Are you?
Yeah, very.
What's the story behind the beard? Don't fear the beard.
Well, I'm just thinking that the Penguins, are about to make a long run, and that's what I'm.
I'm with you. Don't shave the beard.
I haven't shaved this beard since 1992, the last time the Pirates were good. So that, I mean,
What were you,
we're
12 years old?
Castaway.
What were you, 12
We're
years
going
old?
for like a
10 years
castaway
old.
kind of thing.
Zach was born with a 5 o'clock shadow.
Correct. I came out looking like an Amishman.
Hey, and if anybody wants to see Smoking Jim Frazier and Little Z, there's a nice photo on Pittsburgh Sportsline of these two. Very
There it is.
classy photo there.
So we were all together for briefly down at the Golden Gloves, down at the
You
Road.
were guarding the stairways there. What's up with that? We
I-
kept seeing you there.
I
We thought you were
I
security.
was politicking, trying to get my little guy a fight.
Isaiah, guy,
yeah,
yeah,
nobody
he was
wants
all
to fight the
dressed,
guy.
yeah.
He was wrapped up and ready to fight.
Here's what I want to know. Smoking Jim missed it, but I saw Isaiah the Prophet guy in the ring, taped up, and he goes, "Where?" I said, "He's in the ring." He missed him. He didn't see him. And then he goes, "Little Z's protected him on the stairs."
He's like Lightning Rosoka. Now
Hey.
you see him, now you don't.
Yeah.
Like,
Hey, we see him. He's
like
in
lightning
the
in a
house.
bottle. But
Whoa, I like that metaphor.
that amateur stuff, man, it's just so, sporadic and just crazy, So, I mean, Jimmy, I guess, tries his best to run it as best as he can, but he's clearly, overwhelmed, We put a lot of time and energy into training, the gas. I work my ass off to pay part of my friends for everything, the wrap, the tape, everything that goes into a fight, amateur or not. And to show up ready to fight and not be able to fight is just like a terrible injustice to me. On many levels, he's
We
a
agree, but you
13-year-old
need
kid.
a boxer that's willing to go in the ring with them.
Well, hey,
And these guys running the truck, you're too old. You'd be in the Masters. They told me there's different divisions. Sorry, Mike. He's a big fan of our show. I hate to tell him no. Here, have some good sweet Kool-Aid.
Speaking of Kool-Aid coming out of Route 51,
What happened?
I mean, I guess we're gonna have to start pushing, for a Teddy Profit bout, because that's really what needs, you can run but you can't hide. Like,
Wow,
we want to
I like
fight
that
the best,
line, buddy. We
want
talked
to fight
about
the
it.
best. We want to fight everybody. This kid trains hard. He works hard at school, and I feel like he should have every opportunity that everybody else has. If I have to start my own gym in a garage somewhere, then that's what we're going to do. And BC's going to have its own boxing gym. Whatever it takes, we're going to take him out of state, because that seems to be the only place where you
Hey,
guys
don't
want to
give
fight.
up. Don't give up yet. I think there'll be some chances here. I really believe that.
We'll see. We'll see.
Nobody
patience.
wants to fight him. Here, take him out of state. Nobody wants to fight him.
Well, every time we take him out of state smoking gym, we get jobbed on the card. You can't win.
Well,
we're 20-0 in Western Pennsylvania.
Well,
We
what you do is take him out of state and change his name. My birth name ain't Smoking. I'm on the run, so you can bring him back and he can have some fights.
Keep his fights off of YouTube so people can't see what they're up against.
Put up a couple bad fights when he's sparring. Put a sparring match where he's missing people and you're practicing
He
things.
doesn't know how to lose. Even when you tell him to take a diver to go down, he does the
No,
opposite.
don't be talking dive stuff. Wait a second. That's
Yeah,
the old move.
hey, that
Tell him
worked
to
for
go
Jake
down.
LaMotta. That's how Jake LaMotta
We tell
got
him to
his,
go down in
his
the third all
title
the
shot,
time,
brother.
and he knocks guys out. He just does the opposite.
Wow.
He just programmed to win. But
Well, then he's just going to have to keep hanging out until he turns pro. That's all.
yeah, well, while we got Rod in the house, we're looking forward to May 3rd, where we'll all be sitting at the same.
That's
at
what
the
I
same
hear.
Table. I don't know if he's going to be wearing his suit again. You guys are going to have to check
Whoa,
that clip out.
whoa.
Lyle Levine in his
only
suit.
had one
he was
clip.
outclassing Smoking Jim that night. And then
he was cleaner than the Department of Health. He was sharp.
too clean Levine.
Well,
But my
there's another.
but my only question is on May 3rd, will Tia be there?
No, we're going with Verizon. We got a Verizon working.
I knew that
Same
T-Mobile
show, yeah.
wasn't good reception. I told her that Verizon.
Al Levine called it. He called it. He knew T-Mobile was a flash in the pan.
Exactly. When she come in that night, put it right on me. Said, you got to buy T-Mobile. I'm like, who are you? So, sorry, little
She
Z.
tried. She tried.
Another good person. Thanks for bringing her to Sip Sports Bar.
Gotta
3024 West Liberty Avenue.
I'm kind of
You
upset
gotta
Aunt
come
Tina
in.
and everybody over there is eating steaks and bowls of spaghetti. If I would have known, that's what I would have ordered for dinner tonight. You know, I ate grilled chicken.
You
It
got
was
to get
good.
here earlier because you're trying to get down to your fighting weight.
All right.
All right? You started this show 11 weeks ago at 260, buddy.
Yep. And now I'm about 275. So if I have
He
couple
gained a
of them
pound
steaks,
from last week.
If I have a couple
This
steaks,
isn't right.
hey, what can I say? This
You-
food at Sip Sports Bar is good.
That's it.
There you go. We can't
Fantastic.
ask for a better
Hey, the
commercial.
Kamikaze Kid eats a steak here every day.
How's the steak, Kamikaze?
So we got to keep plugging the program, man. Somebody's got to pay for those cows.
There's Antina. There's Antina. They're packing the house here.
Aunt Tina's giving away steaks at
No,
Sip Sports
she's
Bar.
not. No, she's
No, I'm
not.
kidding. I'm kidding. I'm lying. Sorry.
They
are
do
good,
charge
though.
a little price, but it's less than the Capitol Grill. Right, Kamikaze?
No shooting.
Yeah, it's a lot
It's
safer.
very safe in Dormont.
Definitely. Well, what are you thinking about the Pirates? I heard you saying
I'm
you're
not
li-
drinking the Kool-Aid. We got a lot of games left to go. Before, you know, let's see when it gets hot out
You don't
in the
think they
summertime.
can get 82
down the stretch.
wins?
No.
No? Okay, because I have that bet with Chip, but I'm on the bandwagon. I join it usually a
I'm
little
not- you
later.
You can't take it personal, but they're just, you know, they've been bad for so long. They're
Your
giving you
whole life
glimpses
almost.
and little promises, and, you know, we'll see what happens. But when AJ Burnett gets traded at the trade deadline, you owe me one of those steaks because it's probably going to happen. In all likelihood.
Yeah, you got that on the air. If they
got it on
trade
tape.
Burnett at the trade deadline, I'm buying him a steak dinner.
Whoa, it's Sip Sports Bar.
It's Sip Sports Bar. And if the Pirates win 85 games, I'll buy you and Stephanie a steak.
There you
Whoa.
So now we'll just up the ante. We'll up the ante.
You gotta love Little Z.
Gotta deal.
And every
Gotta
person
deal,
that
Zach.
comes out May 3rd to Cal U to watch Rod's fight, I'll buy every single one of you a steak dinner. No, I'm kidding. I'm lying.
Own it. No.
I'm just a
I gotta
shameless
coach him.
self-promoter.
I gotta coach him a little bit. The shameless promotions are good, but you don't want to spend all the money when you're doing it. Okay? Pack the house first.
We got a great deal
All
on
right?
cows.
Collect the green first. That's what
All
you
right,
gotta do.
Levine.
Okay,
Collect
buddy?
the green, Levine.
Collect the green.
Okay, we got it.
Hey, thanks for coming on board.
Thanks for
Zach,
having
it's
me.
always a pleasure.
You are the man. Thanks for coming in. All the way from downtown Elizabeth to downtown Dormont at Sip Sports Bar.
I told you I moved, man.
I know, we got a late breaking news. I just found out before the show. I wanted you to say
You
it.
forgot already, and I'm the
No,
one
no,
that gets
I
hit
know
in the
he's a South Park guy on Ridgeview
And he's a
Road.
boxer.
He thinks I'm a boxer. I've only been a hit a couple times. Ask Chief. That's all. Where'd the Chief go?
Come on, Al. Don't nobody know where Elizabeth is.
All right, he's in South Park now.
Fred Sanford does.
Hey, we were talking about that last time. You know what I forgot about? J.J. Hoover, the pitcher for the Cardinals from
Well,
Elizabeth forward.
I joke, the best running back I ever seen in my life was from Elizabeth. Patera, Ken Patera. Oh, my
Before
fault.
his time.
I was born in '83.
He
Not
used to play
18.
for the Atlanta Falcons.
Not
and the Detroit
1883.
Lions, yeah. Ask him about Ken Patera, great running back.
Start asking the
I probably
neighborhood.
shouldn't. I probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
Hey, but now he's out near me in South Park. I didn't forget that. I was leaving it for you, champ.
There, I picked it up.
You got it.
Picked
You
it
picked
up.
the ball right up. Welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, man. I got a fight next week, so I'm, you know what I mean. I'm peaking right now. I'm ready to go. My weight's good,
And I saw you eating just grilled chicken.
and some French fries though.
I didn't want to tell your
I
fans
splurged a little
You
bit.
did. Tracy said, "Do you want any cheese on that?"
if I eat
you
any
said
more-
no cheese.
If I eat any more oatmeal and fish and chicken, I might
Yeah.
panic. You know what I mean?
I
I
understand.
had about enough for the last 8 weeks. So.
Did you?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. I'm
Well,
good.
how's
I'm
your
not worried
weight
about
right
that.
now? Holding
I'm
steady?
good. I'm holding steady. You know
Good.
what I mean? I'm a couple pounds
Well,
probably.
who's the fool that was signed to fight you?
That's funny you say that because I actually couldn't find anybody. We were having a hard time, and I got a phone call from Russell Peltz, big promoter from Philadelphia,
Yeah.
and he said this kid Osnell Charles saw that you're fighting on Box Shark but didn't have an opponent, and he wants to fight you.
What?
I said, perfect. I said, I'll send the contract out today. You know what I mean? That's perfect. So we sent the contract out. He signed up. So kind of, I like it because normally I'm not like I need something like that I like that.
Sure.
I like the fact
you
that
want the competition.
Because now I feel like I can't wait to punch you in the face a whole bunch of times. You know what I mean? Like, normally it's
Well,
like
you are
my
a
job, so
boxer.
I'm gonna do it because my job. We're done, and I'll tap you on the shoulder. Good job. I'm sorry I had to do that to you, but
Right.
now when I'm done, I'll be like, see what you made me do to you?
Right. You wanted the challenge, and you got
Yeah, I like that though. I like that shows confidence. And the kid's, he's a really good fighter. He beat Victor Vasquez from Philly, who I fought before. He beat Danny McDermott, who's a good fighter from New Jersey, and he had just fought the Pennsylvania state champion Liam Nelson from Philly, and it was 75, 77, 78, 74 on the scorecard. So he was only a round away from a draw in that fight, and it was in the kid's hometown too. So
That's
this
tough.
kid
we all know,
can
it's
fight.
tough.
He's from Atlantic City, but he's originally from Haiti. Moved up here to box and stuff. He's a good fighter. He's probably. His record's only 9-5, but to be honest with you, he's probably at this point in his career, because he's a younger kid, he's probably better than the last kid I fought. You know what I mean? I think if they fought, he'd probably get Lucero. But Lucero's, at the end, more towards the end, and he's up in weight. This kid's still down in weight, still strong,
He's trying
still
to move
young.
up.
Yeah, he's still trying to compile a couple wins. He beat an undefeated kid a few fights back too, like a 6 or 7-0 kid. He could fight, but he jumps in and out. He tries to be real slick, you know what I mean? So I just got to run him in, be patient, and run him into something.
Good. Hey, we can't wait to be up there broadcasting that fight.
That's a great venue too. I don't know if you've ever been up there, but it's it's an awesome venue.
He's an alumni from there. So
yeah, have you seen the new Convocation Center?
No, I haven't seen it.
They just opened. I think it was just the 1 year anniversary of it a couple days ago. So it's brand new, but it's pretty cool. It's like a 6,000 seat little mini basketball.
They've done a lot of construction down there in the last 4 or 5 years.
Oh,
they put a lot of money into that university.
I quit going to. I was done with school there in 06, and pretty much all the buildings are brand new since I was there.
Wow.
Yeah, and they actually fired the president.
Yeah,
because he was spending all that money. He built that.
There was some shady goings on.
Well, there's no reason to build that convocation center up there. I don't know what they. Cal U's in the middle of nowhere.
Right, and I heard the dorms are really nice too.
Oh, it's beautiful. And the dorms I can see, that's students, but this convocation center is just a massive arena in the middle of nowhere. When are you ever going to get 6,000 people to come to Cal U for anything? Unless you bring in someone major. But he only comes when Roy Jones is in town.
Oh yeah, that's true.
You got to come in for Rod Sulka, May 3rd, folks. What time is the fight going to be?
I bet we'll get a couple thousand people there for this fight, though. We'll get a good crowd.
I'm thinking 2,500, 3,000.
You never know with the students, you know what I mean? Because the school's in. We're doing it on a Friday to try to capitalize. Because it's a commuter school, so a lot of the kids go home on the weekend. So we're doing it on a Friday. We're hyping it up. I got Jermaine the Monster Moncrief down there.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Yeah, our friend of our show.
He's pushing it, and if you don't come when he asks you,
you're in trouble.
You're in trouble. So
he's like the wall.
He has a way of persuading.
He's like the wall.
Did you end up looking that up on him?
Oh yeah.
Did you get his stats up?
Oh yeah.
He said he ran a 4.41 down there. He wasn't
moving.
real happy, but he said he did it at the end.
That's
And he did real well. The Ravens called him the next day, and they had him down there. He went and did the team physical. So now now he's gonna play for the Ravens.
Well, we don't like all of that. Come on.
Oh, the Ravens gonna sign him after the draft.
He's gonna go to minicamp with him. He got a contract linebacker. He's got a contract with him, but he didn't sign it yet.
I talked to him. He says he's a natural running back. He'd be open to play running back or linebacker.
He's on with them as a linebacker, I believe. But he got the contract. But I told him to hold off on signing it because he can't sign it till after the draft anyway. So there's no sense. I said, you never know. One of these other teams might come up. You know what I mean?
Trying to give him some guys.
Trying to get the Steelers to just get a peek at him. Just come watch him on the field.
Or he definitely could sign linebacker for Cincinnati because James Harrison will never learn the plays.
There's another story. The scout already gave a scouting report about him before.
My prediction is he won't make the second game of the year against the Steelers. He'll be injured.
Let's go.
They may just turn him out the rush depending on how our line is at that time. If we're healthy or not. We have to watch that. He can go straight ahead pretty good.
That's always a problem with our line.
Yeah, well, hopefully this year Yeah, not just boxing. What do you think about the Penguins? Do you watch them at all? Do you follow
They look
Penguins?
unbelievable. I mean, we don't have Neil, Melvin, or Crosby in the lineup.
We've got an all-star lineup
Still-
that's sitting on the bench.
We got the super all-stars on the bench and the regular all-stars out still dominating. You know what I
Pretty
mean?
soon
So-
you won't be the only champion in Pittsburgh. The Penguins will be
Yeah,
champs too.
I just want them to call me down there to show these guys how to fight a little bit. Why do they
Yeah.
always fight like that?
Yeah.
I would
What would you
if you
do?
put me on ice skates, you'd probably blow on me. I'd probably fall over. You know what I mean? I'm only
That's
one guy
the
on an
thing.
ice
Fighting
skate.
on
Right.
ice skates is
I'm
a little
with
bit
you.
of a
But,
I'm with you
start.
on that.
But they grab a whole. I would be throwing
What
the
would-
first punch for. You know how they circle and then
Yeah.
they go to grab. When
Yeah.
someone went to grab me, I'd throw one real quick at least.
Then you'd be right in his face.
You would be good fighting on a unicycle.
And Rod, you know
He
what
was
they
trying to
used
talk
to
me
do
into
in
that
hockey
unicycle.
fights
Hey.
before they started tying down their jerseys?
They had
The idea was get the jersey up over the guy's head,
Yeah.
tie up his arms, and then just beat the snot
Yeah,
out of
you
him.
know, back
So
in
they
the
tie
90s,
down their
back in the
jerseys now,
90s.
so they can't do that.
Back in the 90s, they had Spadafora down there.
Oh,
When
did
he
they?
was the champ,
Did
down
they?
there with the Penguins, teaching Yager and all them guys
Well,
how to
they
fight.
did brought up this
That's
kid
his
from the
hero,
different
Yager.
techniques they could have been using. Yeah.
Wait, they brought up a kid from the minor leagues for tonight's game. His name's McIntyre. Oh, he's a bruiser. If he
Yeah.
gets in this game, the only thing he's going to do is hit somebody.
They'll put him in for that
They'll
reason.
put him in for the fight Neil.
Yeah.
There's a guy that's been headhunting for Cook all
For
night.
Cook, yeah, that's what.
And
what
Cook's
they were
cleaned
watching.
up his act, so he's had a few little issues.
Hey, you
He's
know
been
what? The
getting beat up
thing
a lot
that
there
they're
recently, yeah.
mad about Cook was about it was an accident. And if you saw what happened in that play,
Was an accident.
they're playing on ice skates that are razor sharp.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
accidents happen. He cut the guy's Achilles tendon. He certainly didn't do that deliberately, you know.
No.
And how you could, like the owner put on like a quote unquote contract on him. And, I don't understand why the commissioners in the NHL don't say, hey, you know what, this isn't right. Look what they did to the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
And their bounty gate. Okay,
Right.
what's up
Yeah,
with the NHL?
Yeah. They let those guys handle that a little bit themselves on the ice. So you
Oh, yeah,
see,
they
you know
do.
what I
They
mean?
let the police-
Hockey's
and that's
a little
nice,
different
that's
sport.
That's a nice thing. You throw down the gloves and you can fight.
That's the only sport you're allowed to keep fighting and come back another week and do it,
Yep,
another month.
just keep doing it. And I like that they added that Morrow to the lineup. That another big guy like a Neil in front of the net
And
man,
he doesn't
bruiser.
skate that well.
And he doesn't put up with anything. Do you see when Saban was
Yes,
in
I
there?
did.
Came at him,
Saban-
and he
did you
was
see the picture
threatening him in the
paper
box.
next day?
He was-
Saban was on the ground all punking out like, please don't hit me. Please
And then
don't
Saban
punch
came
me.
out and got disqualified
Morrow,
right
look like
after,
he's
so
gonna
he didn't
punch
have
his
to.
fist
So he
through
didn't
the
have to be
wall.
out there with
Right through
Morrow
his
out there
head.
because he was coming.
You've had that happen with people in the ring. They don't want to be up against you. They don't want to fight.
The worst ever was I fought in Cyprus overseas.
Yeah.
And I don't
Near
know where they
Greece.
got the where they got the kid from. I think they found him and eating a hamburger on the corner
they?
or something. It was the worst. It was the worst fighter I ever in my life have been in the ring with. Like you,
Why
to be
is it?
honest,
Why don't you explain?
Because it was overseas. I think they just grabbed him. He was from Bulgaria. He rode in like. The kid was scared to death the whole week leading up to the fight. He was just sitting by himself. He gets in the ring, man, and I missed with a punch, and he took a knee. And, I think I had him down
phantom
7
punch.
times in the first round
Are you
or something like that.
serious?
Yeah, it
That's
was,
not even fun.
And I didn't even really hit him with nothing. I caught him with one good shot, and then the one good shot I hit him with, that was it. He laid there and like moved around.
Well, at least he could have been a dumb fighter because he got hit with one good shot. He
Well,
said,
he
I
was
don't
so-
want
they
to
had
get
him
hit with
so-
the second.
they had him so scared leading up to the fight because there was no commission in Cyprus. There was no boxing commission. They don't do boxing shows there. So my manager at the time went over there, put on the show. He was essentially the commission. So the whole week, I'm eating lunch with Don Turner, who's like he trained Holyfield and everybody.
right.
And Don Turner's saying the whole time he's not training any more fighters unless someone special comes along, but he's there with me. So then this kid's seeing that. I'm eating lunch with the judges every day and
Right.
the referees. It just wasn't a normal scenario. So this kid's sitting by himself, didn't even have a trainer coming with him.
Right.
And he's seeing this, so you know what I mean? He probably was just like,
Yeah.
I couldn't believe he stayed the whole week. I was
He said,
waiting to
"Can
go
I
to
get a
breakfast
couple
one morning.
dollars?"
I was waiting to go to breakfast one morning and have him just not even be there, you know?
Well, at least he showed up.
Yeah, they
you got
probably,
to give him credit.
they probably
there.
locked his door from the outside whenever he went to bed at night.
Good point. Good point there.
That's good.
Hey, do you follow any other sports? Because I know you're a Pittsburgh
Yeah,
guy.
I mean, I really haven't been jumping on with the Pirates yet. I usually wait till after the All-Star break when they blow it, then to start jumping,
Right,
to start
right.
paying attention. You know what I mean? But I'm
we
not,
understand.
I'm not for or against. Like I'm all for them doing well, and I always go to a couple games.
Sure.
My grandma loves Loves
Really?
the Pirates. Oh yeah, she follows them. She knows. She can tell you who played. You know who the backup.
Hold
or
it,
kid
we
brought
might
up in
have
one
to
game
have your
back.
grandma on
she
the
knows,
show.
She knows all. She knows all about the Pirates, and so I usually take her to a game or two.
Oh, that's
you know what I
nice.
mean? And we enjoy that, and we go out. I'm always hoping they win. You hope they do good, but. Until they make me a believer, I'm not going to be 100% a believer. It's been
I'm a
little
fan
too
of
long.
the Guinness Book of World Records. I want them to continue
Yeah.
to be in there.
Ouch. Ouch. Hold it. I got to have some more of that.
How much longer do they have to go for that?
They
They
just
got
set it
it.
every
They set
year.
it every year. It just
This
keeps
is the
going.
20th.
So
It's
when
a
did they
North-
set the record?
About 2 years ago.
No, last year.
Last
year
year
was-
that was the longest ever in North American history.
See, we shouldn't even bring that stuff
No,
up.
let's stay positive
Let's
here.
just-
Smoking Jim,
But
you're
you
just
know
a
what,
negative
though?
guy.
You know what? The two baseball teams in Pennsylvania, one of them's got
Wild things.
One of them's got 10,000 losses, and one of them's just about to break their 10,000th win. And the Pirates are just shy of their 10,000th win. They're
There you
about
go.
29 wins away. So
Tell them
and
how
the
many
Phillies
other
have
teams.
lost 10,000 games.
Thank you, Hannes Wagner.